Right, and what they had, apparently their big barrier was they had blue and red lasers, and they had trouble with developing yellow laser, because that's all they needed. And they create what's called an interferometry field, basically, and they now have these lasers project up and create a virtual holographic projection. So the new TVs are already, if you want to call it, sitting away in a warehouse ready to be launched in, say, 2035 or whatever they want to bring them out. But holographic television is already invented. I also talked to one of the senior managers for one of the major computer companies, Apple Computing, and they were working on what's called and or not circuits that are what's called basically light optic circuits. Have you ever heard of light optic circuit supercomputers? Well, they have them. And they had these back in the late 90s. They were actually working on them since the 80s, but they had them perfected by the late 90s with actually microprocessing units that had created no heat at all because they're all light optic circuits, and it's all in what's called a micro nanotechnology array. So everything basically is down to light optic circuits. There's actually no electricity involved with the processing of data. So the first thing to think of is, number one, Operation Blue Beam is real. They can project an image up there if they want to manipulate the people. Number two, what people should understand is that the largest infrared telescope, binocular telescope, is owned by the Vatican in Arizona. And infrared telescopes can see binocularly extraterrestrial vehicles because you can't shroud them from infrared light. You can shroud them from optic or visual light, but not infrared. So if you actually have infrared binocular telescopy at night, you can actually see in giant swarms of vehicles all around the Earth. Okay, that's just a fact. I know from my inside contacts in Space Command. So the idea that we may be visited is like we are like a major tourist destination to see what's going on Earth. In fact, if there was a big, we call reality TV show, the most popular show in the galaxy is a program called Earth, to watch all the craziness that's going on our planet. And when people say that this is not happening, it's like they're just not facing the reality that we're in a vast universe where even with the Drake equation, it's calculated there's at least 100 million advanced civilizations, probably anywhere from 10,000 to 10 billion years more advanced than us. So the idea that we're just alone in the universe is pretty ridiculous. You know, if you look out in space, we can't see anything. It's like anybody that can transition across the galaxy through time-space wormholes and space-time vortices and can manipulate consciousness or genetics, this is like child's play. If we in the 21st century can do it, imagine what advanced civilizations that can transition across the galaxy like child's play. So the fact is, we have been interacted. It's in every ancient holy book, in every civilization on Earth, from the Bhagavad Gita to the Bible to every other book. But people won't face this. They cut that piece of the Bible up and say, well, I don't believe that. Why do you think God brought the judgment of the flood of Noah? Because the only one that was perfect in his generations was Noah and his family. The rest were genetically modified. We had GMP, genetically modified people that were not acceptable to the Creator God of the universe. And we had dark alliances with dark powers and transdimensional beings, otherwise, in the words in the Bible, demons or demonic powers, but they were called the Nephilim, the fallen ones, who came down from their residence or their place of residence to Earth, and they hybridized with humans. It actually says it right in the Bible, but people don't want to accept that. They want to accept the words of Jesus in the New Testament or the words of Daniel, but they don't want to accept these facts. Somehow they say, well, that's too bizarre. It's just allegorical. No, it's not allegorical. You can read the Hebrew. And the Hebrew mindset and the Asian mindset is pretty straightforward. They call the spade a spade. They may have used a different type of technology to say what something's used for rather than what it looked like, but the fact is their words are pretty plain, aren't they?